All right. Here we are. I had thoughts about what this would be like. This whole podcast thing. I do think it's cool. I do think that, I don't know where you are and what you're doing right now. Maybe you're driving. That seems reasonable. Maybe you're doing your dishes and you don't want to be alone while you do your dishes. I think that's another option. Maybe you're on a run. But yeah, I've wanted to start a podcast for a few years now. But, I've been scared and I just wanted to tell you that. Okay, I'm gonna break the space-time continuum right now, but I'm literally sitting in my room and I'm doing this as a trial to see if I could even pull this off and if this is something I am serious about and want to keep up. Is this something that has longevity for me, or am I just gonna put out a couple episodes, get bored of it, and then that's that? As someone who's pursued music, I guess, as a professional thing, there's so much that is just so serious. You stay up at night and you're just you can't put this stuff out of your head. You live and breathe your projects. It's your life. It's your passion. It's everything. And talking is more of a hobby of mine. You know what I mean? If you know me, you know that I love a phone call. It's just the best. I think one of my values, I did this Brene Brown exercise. She's some kind of smart therapist type person. Anyway, she has this list of values, and one of my top 2 values is connection. And I just feel like talking on the phone, you really can't get a better connection than that. I mean, now, with the way the world is and the way things are, now I have on my dating apps, which I'm on, which I hate that I'm on, but I'm on, I get people's phone numbers. It's like a game to me. Basically, I put in my profile to send me your phone number because I hate texting, and then on a random Tuesday night when I'm feeling, I need some connection, I just call one of these numbers and I get to strike up a conversation with a stranger, and it's refreshing. I mean, what a thing, what a cool thing to do, to talk to someone about their life. And a lot of these people, you have nothing in common with. They're in a completely different world. They know all completely different people than you, and you kind of get to just see it. I love asking them these huge questions what do you want to do before you die? Or, are you happy with your life the way it is? I really get into it, and it's interesting. But I also just love listening, but also sharing, and I feel like I could have a pretty good conversation with a brick wall and still enjoy myself. So yeah, I mean, that's a hobby, speaking. And, I feel like this type of low pressure speaking situation could be something that I could do forever, really, because I do enjoy it. And I really think musicians should have hobbies and should have these places of refuge where you can just express yourself, but it not be tied to your identity as an artist, or not a huge reflection of your capabilities. It's can't someone can't it just be, can't you just not evaluate me on this? You know what I mean? Can you just let me have this without super judging my abilities as a creative person? And can it not be that some grant person down the line who's deciding whether or not to give me money, you know, use this as, you know, oh, let's see what this is about. You know, let's see if she's professional and can, like, we trust her with like $10,000 to put to good use. And this may sound like a crazy fear, but on some of these applications, you've got to link everything, all your socials, all your everything. I don't know if they actually look at it, but it does feel like it's just like, oh. Then there's this added pressure to be great on your socials, and whether that's justified pressure or it's completely overthinking and in your head, which, you know, yeah, I'd say on second thought, this is just my crazy fears. I mean, that's human nature, right? Comparing yourself to others and always feeling not good enough, or that you're not putting out enough, or that the quality isn't good enough. Or I think universally as a musician or a creative, you can feel that way, whether it's imposter syndrome or just like a huge pile of rotting self-doubt that perpetuates. Yeah. But the point is, we should just let our hobbies be hobbies, and as artists, we should have creative outlets and ways of expressing ourselves that are offshoots of our main practice. And we really need to just internalize that these hobbies and things that we do not have to be as impressive or well thought out or perfect as our main thing, our main practice. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the opinions of others. One of my friends, I told her I might start a podcast, and she asked questions, and normal questions, like good questions, constructive criticism questions that I welcome. And they were just your standard, like, who's your audience? You know, like, what's your plan? And that could have sent me into this spiral of, you know what, yeah, gosh, you're right. I need to really sit down and come up with a plan here and figure out these themes. And that's valid. I think those are reasonable questions to ask, but I'm standing firm with this being an experiment, a fuck you to the norm and the facade. I don't want this to be something that I sit down and I'm writing scripts. It feels forced and it doesn't feel like I'm being real. Sure, maybe it will be more clear if I did it that way. And really curated it. And maybe I will curate some things. But I also wanted to use this as an exercise for me to be real and to work on my perfectionism and to just say no more. And I'm not going to be sitting there when I die regretting the things I didn't try because I was scared to try them, you know? But yeah, self-doubt runs deep. It can be paralyzing. And to be honest, this sounds really bad, but sometimes I do wish I was someone else. More put together, more mysterious. Like, I see some artists, and they have this professionalism and everything's so curated and just like, oh, and it's just sexy and the quality of everything is just so high, and it's just like, oh, that's just like so, like, Andy Schauf is one of those people for me where it's just like, oh, what a mysterious life you live in. Oh, who are these people and all these stories he's telling? Who is that? What's that name? Martha. Who's Martha? You know? Or the Marias, you know, don't even get me started. Untouchable, sexy, put together, you know, like people like that. they're definitely signed and have help with what they're putting forward. But yeah, I do sometimes wish that was me, but it's not, and I can't let the words of my ex-boyfriend's mother, who said that I was, what was her word? Immature or unserious, define me in a negative way. You know, like, okay, so what? So what if that's not who I am? I'm not curated. I'm not polished in all facets of my life, you know? And to be fair, I mean, I've done some real immature things back in the day, so truthfully, no shade to my ex's mother. But even still, I just can't be serious all the time. Yes, some of my projects are serious and professional, but I think people shove themselves into a mold and it like silences a part of you. And I think it can just leave you frozen, like completely petrified. And I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live my life in fear. I see people on TikTok, unfiltered, being crazy, and I'm just like, I love you. Gosh, just the release, the letting go you have to do to get rid of your facade and just be raw and real. And a lot of that is like the content that I consume and I appreciate. So I do want to practice doing that and stand by my beliefs, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so I just kind of wanted to be honest. I wanted to come on here and just really be vulnerable and cut the bullshit. I do think you are your worst enemy. I 100% identify with that. So from square one, I'm telling you, I am scared of this podcast. And I feel a bit isolated too. And I feel like a lot of people these days feel isolated. I mean, you're listening to a podcast right now, like, not to pass judgment. And I mean, I'm not a huge podcast listener, but I do have TV shows that I keep on in the background that just feel like family and that just make you feel less alone sometimes. And it's just sad, but here we are. Like, this is all of us right now. We just want something, and this is me just putting my little flint of whatever into this void of existence, and here you are, you know? And I want to encourage. I'm saying to myself, I won't let these self-doubts define me, and I'm not going to let the fear of failure stop me from trying something I think I might enjoy. As someone with a classical music background, it's really instilled in you that failure is bad and like messing up is bad, and like you're just always striving for this perfection that just is so unhuman yet beautiful. It's like, I don't know. That's a topic for another day. I did just want to share that I've been in a lot of therapy and a lot of therapy groups recently, and there's this concept of mind traps and thought distortions that I felt like was very interesting, because I've realized I have a lot of these, not only in my personal life, but in my musician life. You know, this kind of catastrophization and black and white thinking, like all or nothing. Like, I'm either gonna accomplish this or I'm not at all, or I'm either gonna start a podcast and it be a success, or it's just gonna end up like my YouTube channel and it's just gonna all become too much for me, and it's just gonna become another one of these things that didn't amount to anything. Not that it needs to, but And that is not real, which is crazy. Like, the things you think aren't the things that are in reality. But these are some things I think I would want to share on this podcast moving forward, just so you know what's coming. Some of you who know me know I've been going through some chronic medical conditions, so I've had to step into this different way of thinking. I'm in this phase of my life. I'm learning. I'm trying to, exist in a peaceful manner. I'm learning to let go. And actually, I just watched this show. I'm really late to the game. It was released like a long time ago. Jury Duty. Oh my gosh. It was so good. Damn, like, I can't believe I hadn't watched that before. If you haven't seen it, it's basically about this guy who goes in for jury duty and he believes it's all real, but it's not. It's like basically the Truman Show, and he's not actually on jury duty. He's on a TV show. But this whole concept, I think, can be a really freeing frame of mind to get into. It kind of just reminds you that you can do anything. Like, you could wake up tomorrow and only wear Hawaiian shirts and no one's gonna stop you, Like, you could release an album of you playing a tambourine for like an hour and no one would stop you. I mean, that actually would be kind of fun if you made like a large tambourine and like hula hooped it and that was your album. A movement. That's actually an interesting idea. I used to love hula hooping. I used to learn hula hooping tricks as a kid. I'm getting a bit off track here. So I guess this is episode 1 of this podcast. If I don't let my thoughts of being dumb stop me from sharing my thoughts, but if I overcome that and you are listening to this right now, the message, I guess, is you can do it too. Yeah, what a journey we took together today. We'll talk more about living a creative life and kind of some of the trials and tribulations that exist for the life of a creative. And, we'll just do that, okay? We'll muse. I might have guests, I think, at some point. I do feel like I'm not ready and I need to, be a better podcaster before I bring someone else in. But thanks for listening. I hope you had a nice walk, or you got those dishes done. Maybe you cleaned your apartment. Maybe you're about to go to bed. In that case, sweet dreams. And I'll see you in episode 2. Okay, bye. You hang up first.